Man, we are here today with Brad from Uncommon Line Podcast. I wanted to get you in. You're kind of our first interview outside of the company, right? But you were the early adopter of the Omnis. And, man, honestly, because of you kind of caught fire in local law enforcement. So wanted to get you in, kind of talk about your practical uses of it, and then, just kind of get your opinions. And also, you got to see kind of a sneak peek of the Pico. So we talk about that a little bit, too.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for having us. Big fan, obviously.
How's it feel to be on that side?
It's weird. We were just talking about it before it started. It's weird being on this side and not being the person having to think about all the questions and just the person with the information. So thank you very much for having me. And
no, I'm glad to have you, man.
And really, man, thank you for creating the product.
So yeah, man, let's just jump to it, man. The Omnis. You and I talked about this, man. It's been, I guess, about 6 months ago.
Longer than that.
Hasn't been
because y'all hadn't even come to market with it yet,
right?
Because it was before TTPOA. And I think it was just a fluke because we obviously with our brand being involved with Triarch, we knew it was coming out. And once I saw it, because you had the smaller.
Yeah, because you had the prototype. You took the prototype out on to do something and came back. It's like, dude, this is it.
And y'all had the smaller version, right?
Yeah, the original. And this is just the sunshade we put on there, so this comes off.
But you had the original version that I originally saw. And immediately, of course, I'm a shooter, and I thought, okay, yeah, this is great for what it was meant to be, right?
Like it's a long sunshade
for spotting, zeroing, sniper competitions, anything of that realm. Like, great for it, right? That's why it was originally created, I would think.
Yeah, that was exactly. It's honestly made for it to make range days easier because we spent so much time at the range just squinting. Yeah, it was like, well, let's make range day easier. The unintended consequences.
Or if you're the poor guy having to run down there and check it and come back.
Yeah. Always.
But when I saw it, I immediately thought for the job I'm in, and for those that don't know, so I work in law enforcement. I'm plainclothes, in law enforcement, and we're strictly see bad guy, get bad guy. So we'll just leave it at that. We keep it very generic. If you follow our show, we don't ever talk about what our agency is, but a lot of fugitive work and a lot of surveillance. And so we've gone from using cameras to obviously we're in binos all the time, right? And most of us have different spotting scopes. But when I saw this, immediately I'm like, this is a game changer.
It was cool because the first day you took it out, you kept sending me pictures like, dude, look at this. Look at this. Like, this things you've never been able to do before, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now
so one of the biggest things is stand off as far as surveillance go. How far away can I be away from, if we have, for example, an agency using cameras and camera devices, pole cameras, stuff like that. You can be from at a distance and watch a front door of a residence. But then you have the issue of setting it up and, budget and everything like that. And so here, what the beauty of this is we can put this in a car and it acts as a pole camera for us. Yeah. And nobody knows.
How much does a pole camera normally cost? A decent setup?
I mean, thousands.
Yeah.
15.
And then the department cost on this is $1,050, right? So you can get these for $1,050. For department cost, obviously MSRP and MAP is $1,249 and all that stuff. But
and so it kind of changed it. So I talked to y'all and I was like, hey, I'd like to get my hands on it because I really think it could change, the way we do surveillance. And there's other things out there. You've got spotting scopes that have their phones that you can do attachments and everything. Yeah. But there are always failure points with that. And this was like the best bang for your buck, all inclusive, thing that we use. And so we took it out on a case.
Right.
And I was probably a little bit more than half a mile away and had what we call the good eye on the front door where the target was. And we were really worried about, in this specific case, some cameras that they had, some counter surveillance that they were doing. Okay. And so some of our vehicles, everybody knows, most of the time, yes, you drive a UC car, but everybody knows, it's a cop.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a lot. We had a lot of room to play with, but not that much, buttoning up close to the target. So I said, hey, let's put it to play. So we put it up on the tripod, like a dash-mounted tripod.
That was
set there, and I got in the back seat, was able to link it up to my phone, and we got a PID on the target, and they would never have known, that we were there. And great visual utilizing this and being able to keep that distance, officer safety, and not burn a case is awesome.
Have there been any situations where it's helped with warrants or anything like that?
I mean,
the
answer is yes. Yeah. So much so that, that I started putting it in other agencies. I mean, we work constantly with other agencies. Yeah. We're constantly showing to other agencies. And several of the other agencies we bought, have went and bought with them. And we ended up, buying it for for our team, and it is a game changer.
Dude, so just since you are our very first department to adopt it, since then we've had game wardens, other fugitive task force. So across the nation, if it's surveillance and kind of a recon or it's actually, I mean, frankly, it's evidence, right?
Yeah.
Being able to capture evidence.
Well, and
on
the beauty
fly.
of it, and another great story of this, we were out on another case, I was watching a door, and I was actually recording visual because I had put it on my back box and pulled in, and then I was watching in my front seat, watching on my phone, and a domestic situation took place. So I hit record, was able to record
on your target.
No, it was unrelated.
Okay,
but it was getting a little bit hairy, so we ended up having to call PD, and so I hit record. So we were able to capture evidence, was able to give it over to the local agency as evidence. And the great thing is the software, y'all encrypted the software.
Right.
So as far as chain of custody goes and evidence sharing, there's no breakdown in that for law enforcement. If you know any of that, that's huge with discovery and everything. So it's constantly evolving what we've been using this for, besides just shooting. Now, yes, we take it out and shoot. It's great. But as far as, what I think it shines at is exactly this.
And I don't know if you noticed or not, so inside of the app now, you can change the Wi-Fi name and password to be whatever you want it to be.
No, we're still using it, but I didn't. So that's good.
So now you can too for even more encryption. And that's the thing too. We've touched on the surveillance aspect and the shooting aspect. Another thing too, have you got to use it at night at all?
Yes, we have.
So how far are you looking at night, and kind of how's that? It's still the same results?
Obviously, you start getting into the darker. We're able to button up a little bit closer because we have darkness to advantage. But still, the clarity, the screen is HD.
Yeah.
So we've got HD screen, and like I said, being able to feed it to your phone. And sometimes I found myself like where I may be watching, and let's say the target is lit, but I'm not lit, and there's no light in between there. I'm able to zoom in so close,
right. And without any infrared light.
Without any infrared light, zoom in. I can put this up and turn the back screen off, and then I'm watching on my phone, and I can play with brightness, and I'm not gonna have any reflections in my surveillance or anything like that. It's awesome, man.
And that's one of the things. So he's talking about is when you're using the app, you can actually turn the app the screen into sleep mode, right? Completely turn the screen off and still see and control everything that's going on through the optic, right? Without shutting this off. So in your situation, right, if you're in the vehicle, cover everything up. The only thing showing is this. Everything else is blacked out, and you can control how bright the.
And we've even put. I'm not going to tell all my secrets. So for any of my guys that are watching, anybody that wants to know how we've kind of deployed this in different things, you can hit us up. But easy putting mesh over it, and it gets a little bit dimmer on the what you see. But I mean, good luck trying to find us. Good luck trying to see it, and where we can put it. And I mean, these are great tripods, obviously. We just buy the cheap little twisty ones, and I can twist it around a box. I can twist it around my steering wheel, mount it up, and nobody knows better.
We've even used these just on a sock, on a sand sock. Just put
And I think I forget what y'all gave me. You gave me.
It was it was the Ulfanar Triarca, but not Triarca. The Arca Rail bag. Yeah. But man, that's like it's $200. You just put on, you get a sock full of sand.
Well, that's what we were when we were talking to some of the guys that were looking at buying. I was like, dude, just go get any tripod. And have different options. Like if I put this on, most of the time I'm just putting it on one of my back range bags in the back of my box and just sitting it there. And then once I get it set, I'm looking at my phone being my front seat.
You're not looking at extended distances and high magnification, so you're not going to have a bunch of wobble anyway.
No.
So.
And even then the one photo that I sent you was about a mile out.
That was way.
It was a dish on top of a building. And even then, you had some a little bit of wobble, but it was enough. Like I could identify what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So we've got some game wardens that are outside of Texas that will tell us that they can see fishing poles in someone's hands from over a mile, get a video of people fishing, walk up and say, hey, you're fishing. I wasn't. I got video of you now. Yeah. Now the bad side of that is that the AccuFire logo is popping up. Somebody's getting a ticket, but whatever.
Hey, it's marketing.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool, man. And then,
I think to me, man, and you and I have talked about this. I think the sky's the limit when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Within the niche market of law enforcement and surveillance, and where y'all can adapt this thing is endless because it's such a great tool. And like I said, it's just one package. I'm not having to buy a nice spotting scope, then buy the adapter, and then use the phone. And then I'm worried about using a personal phone or a state phone in evidence gathering and anything. An agency goes and buys it. It's now part of the agency. Anything that's taken, I mean, it's just it's an awesome.
Well, it's also the fact that it's smaller and lighter than a traditional spotting scope, which is fantastic. And then our cases will be out. I actually got one to show you today. Our cases will be out anytime soon. Savior's making some fantastic Molly cases, so you can really beat them up because I'm really bad about that. And then hopefully, future we work on some cool stuff in the future too. Yeah. Hopefully thermal will come involved.
Yeah, and the other thing too, and one of the things we haven't really talked about, the Wi-Fi, and we're talking about.
Yeah.
What's awesome is everybody thinks it's just the one person, but anybody that's got access to the app, it's within a relatively close distance. We've had it where we've been in different surveillance vehicles, pretty tight to each other.
Let's talk about how far apart do you think you guys were? We always tell people 30 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that plus or minus maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But same block area, and we had a few cars, and everybody can kind of join in on the app and see it.
That's cool.
And that right there is great because then I'm not if I'm the good eye, and what we'll call this the good eye, I may not be watching it visually, but this is.
Yeah.
Everybody can essentially is the good eye at that point, being able to identify and see the same thing.
Yeah.
Instead of the one person constantly sitting there on binos.
Right.
You can tell somebody, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, peel off. They've still got connection, and they're able to watch them.
It's awesome, man. It's good getting bad guys out of the world from the office, so it's kind of cool. We've talked a lot about, I could talk about this thing all day long, but let's talk real quick about the PCO. You got to see it.
Yeah, I did.
Just give us your quick thoughts. Hey, will you hand me that? We're going to do another video here in a little bit. Let's give me a quick
thoughts. So I've been shooting red dots now for, I guess, 5 years now. And I've seen, I'm a red dot instructor. We've implemented it within our agency. I've seen a lot of different red dots. This aperture is huge, which is awesome.
Yep.
Really, one of the first things when I picked it up, it's almost like we cut an SRO in half and put the SRO on top. And so you've got that nice big dome, but y'all have widened it. Good clear glass.
It's really
I like
dirty.
the dot. I like and that's dirty. But, good clear glass. I like the dot size, which is huge, which is what, 3 1/4?
It's 2 MOA.
2 MOA,
yep.
So a little bit smaller. And, of course, the biggest plus, especially for agencies, is the cutout in the back, being able to where you can run regular sites.
Exactly.
You're not going to have to, because most of the agencies are making policies where you got to have, co-witness, suppress right sites. That's an additional cost. So, but it's really awesome, man. I really like it. I'm excited about the micro.
I am too. We did the micro. It kind of came back with like a beluga well a little bit, so we had to make some changes, but it'll still be here by Christmas 2022. Is that what the year this is?
Awesome.
Yeah.
2022?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a month away, bro.
So I don't want to think about it, man. I mean, SHOT Show is coming up. Hey, so if you get a chance, go listen to Brad and his team over at Uncommon Line. They've got a great podcast. Where I first met you was actually here, I believe, when you were they did the big something.
We were doing
was it the anniversary a couple years ago.
No, it was Total Recon.
That's what it was.
We did the YouTube thing for
your whole thing. So that's pretty cool, man.
It was a good time. I don't remember much after that, but
Anywhere else, if you have any questions, please let us know. Find us on all social medias, AccuFire Tech. Give these guys a check out at Uncommon Line, the Uncommon Line podcast, right? Same.
Yeah, just the Uncommon Line.
Yeah.
Uncommon Line. You can find us on theuncommonline.com. You can find us on Instagram, Uncommon Line. So we're busy. Hit us up if you got any questions.
Yeah. Thanks. I really appreciate you coming in, bro. It was good talking with you.
It was awesome.
We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks, guys.